Hi everyone, this is class 7, November 4th, of asynchronous self-directed learning. To review, as a group, we generally agreed that the purpose of education, articulated by Ken Robinson, was to foster students' social, personal, economic, and cultural knowledge and understanding as they develop the core competencies of communication, collaboration, curiosity, creativity, criticism, compassion, composure, and citizenship. Social, the purpose is to become active and compassionate citizens. Personal, engage in the world within them as well as the world around them. Economic, enable students to become economically responsible and independent in an ever-changing economic landscape, developing the 21st century skills. Cultural, understanding own culture and other cultures and promoting cultural tolerance and coexistence. And we base this thinking on our group's lived and lived experiences and research that we looked at. To continue investigating the purpose of education, we are now thinking about the correlation between what we believe is the purpose of education and the purpose of schooling. Last week, we introduced sociology. We now know sociology investigates social life, social change, social causes, and the consequences of human behavior by investigating the structure of groups, organizations, and societies and how people interact within these contexts. In other words, we are investigating the purpose of schooling and how it reflects our group definition of what is the purpose of education. Last week, we looked at our standards of practice in our profession. We also looked at our role being defined and how we needed to relate to stakeholders in schooling. Teachers report on and teach the learning skills to students, so it seems the students' roles have been outlined as well. In this class, today, we will be reflecting on who, including teachers and students, are the stakeholders in schooling. For this class, we will focus on the question, how do the stakeholders create and sustain an engaging, inclusive, safe, equitable learning environment in our schools? And you're kind of reflecting on outcome number 1 in your 9 learning outcomes of your practicum. When we meet as a whole group on November 11th, we will share our understanding of the role of all the stakeholders in the school and in creating and sustaining an engaging, inclusive, safe, and equitable learning environment as we continue to demonstrate a professional manner in keeping with the Ontario College of Teachers standards. And we will ponder and answer the larger question in our journaling on November 11th, which is, why is it important to create a sustain an engaging, inclusive, safe, and equitable learning environment as we continue to think about the purpose of schooling? So please begin with the land acknowledgement this week and the tea building with your TAs as we share items about ourselves. And we will begin by reading a section of Chapter 4 in Activity 1 from the Sociology of Education by Karen Robinson. So Activity 1 is looking at the structure of education in Canada. I chose Canada so you get a feeling for across Canada, because I've always said that maybe you want to work across Canada as opposed just in Ontario. And we'll be looking at the structures of education in Canada as we learn who the stakeholders in education are. Activity 2, we'll be looking at learning outcome, which is actively engage in the work of the school and classroom to understand the role of all stakeholders in creating and sustaining an engaging, inclusive, safe, and equitable environment. Activity 3, we'll be looking at why is it important to create and sustain an engaging, inclusive, safe, and equitable learning environment as we continue to think about the purpose of schooling. Talk to you soon. Take care.